Every year, there is approximately 1,000 exchange students coming to the University of Helsinki. Studies show that most of them eat around 3 meals a day. But what are these meals, and how do they differ from those they are used to? These are the questions we asked.
Well, now you can see it's really empty. At home I have like more stuff that my parents can't buy for me, like I can afford here. I just buy food for myself and maybe a little extra, but not enough for living like comfortably. I have found that meat here it's really expensive. So I didn't have the chance to buy like steaks or some kind of meat here. So I've been like eating just pasta and sausages, and that's the only kind of meat I can eat if I'm not eating at the university. By far I prefer buying my stuff in Lidl. It's really cheap and it has most of the things we can share in Spain because we have Lidl too. So I know what I'm buying, but then there's some kind of things that I can't find, so I go to Prisma that it's quite affordable too. Speaking of prices, I just like know one sure thing in Spain that maybe chicken it's 5 euros per kilo. Here in Lidl I have just found like 13 euros per kilo and I was like crying in the corner. Of course I do. I miss a lot, how do you say, jamón, it's a Spanish type of meat, jamón, and sweets, and fried potatoes. I miss them a lot. In Finland they don't have those kind of chips, so I'm a really snacky person and I'm having a hard time here.
At home, well, I guess overall the fridge is much fuller at home just because I cook more often and cook for more people and got more special things that I use over time. Well, I guess as I said, like maybe the bread and some sweet pastry. Otherwise, probably food that comes from Finland in parts, but is not particularly Finnish, I guess. Probably the main reason is my budget, and well, food is kind of cheaper there, and yeah, and it's close by at campus, so I get most of my food there, and then some others at other shops. Well, nuts are quite expensive here, although I got some, which I cannot get at all. Can't think of any right now. I'm pretty good. Spring onions, maybe.
Well, I guess it would be more variety of meats at home, because here I only buy chicken, eggs, and sausages. I think there will be more cheese too, and maybe some sauce like mustards. Because meat here is very expensive, and I don't very often buy it. And cheese is very, very expensive in comparison to France. I don't often buy Finnish food. I like when I come back from the center city because I can stop at Lidl, and if not, I go to Prisma. It's the nearest supermarket and cheapest. Yeah. Yeah. Cheese, bread from bakeries, real bread not in package but the bread in the supermarket in Finland are very tasty, but I prefer the one from bakeries in France.
I think there are a little bit less vegetables in here in the fridge, because I don't find all those vegetables I usually buy at home in here, at least not in Lidl, and I go mostly shopping in Lidl because it's cheaper. Yeah, and some I consider some vegetables simply a little bit too expensive for now, so I just leave them. Yes. For example, I try to buy Finnish tomatoes or Finnish salad and not imported ones. Good question. Nothing that comes into my mind spontaneously. Basically, you get access to nearly everything here.
I guess it's a bit different because I'm in the Czech Republic. I'm used to live more people, not on my own. So I don't have a lot of food in my fridge, and also I guess that I have more vegetable and fruits in the Czech Republic, because here I eat usually at Unicafe. And I guess that I have more alcohol here also in the fridge because it's a bit expensive. So I can't just go to the pub and order like 20 beers, like in the Czech Republic. I don't think so. Or, well, just like the brands which are made here. But like a normal food I consume also in the Czech Republic. The kinds of food is not it's not changed, just the brands. I tried these things with rice in. I don't know the name. And also my friend cooked an elk for me with some porridge from potatoes and berries. A little, because it's cheap. And I consider the quality of food quite good. Yeah, I really miss butter without any salt.
cheap food, cheap everything. Yeah, I think I'm a bit affected by this fact, but I don't really adjust my behavior a lot. I just like think more about it. What should I buy? I think that my consumption of sweet food, like sweets or some biscuits, lowered significantly, but it's good. So.
Well, here in Helsinki, I have a lot of vegetables, but the kinds are different from what we have in China. The vegetables in China are very cheap, so that's the reason we eat a lot of vegetables. But here in Helsinki, everything is so expensive, especially the meat, so I eat less meat and I eat more mushrooms because that's what they offer at the supermarket, and more carrots because they're the cheapest. I do not buy any Finnish food or ingredients, except for some Finnish pastry that are fairly cheap in the supermarkets. I prefer Lidl because they're cheap and because they offer a good variety of vegetables. Yeah, I miss hot pot. That's a special dish in China, and I miss the stoves in China because then you can cook. It's not actually stove, electricity stove, but then you have gas and you have fire, and then you can cook vegetables or any dishes perfectly as I wish because that's the fire that we used to. Whereas here in Helsinki, you use electric stoves, and it's really hard to cook Chinese cuisine with those because it doesn't provide the temperature that it requires.